back in, it was 92, 93, I was put in the gang. Really not for the gang, not for the fighting or not for any of that. It was really for like the money and stuff. That's really what I got into the gang for. Older acquaintances that were had stronger statuses than me. So then that made me stronger in the gang, because I can't get out the gang. So I might as well just climb up. That's what I thought at the time. Down the road was called Spooky. Why they called me Spooky was because I really kind of like the fighting kind of stuff. It was not because I look scary. It's because, like, if one of our members didn't act right, I took care of him. That was my job.
The enforcer?
Yeah, the enforcer. I kind of took care of him. And if I didn't, by the older enforcers, if I didn't do that, they took care of me. So I had to do what I had to do to not, not be in that kind of predicament. So at that time, they didn't know none of this, but I just figured I had to climb up the line and just get deeper in the gang. The younger guys. So the older guys were Los Canales, and then the younger guys were East Side Dokes.
And what were the money-making enterprises for the gangs? What did you do?
Pretty much just weed and cocaine. Pretty much delivering it. And I didn't deliver it out of a car. I delivered off a bike. I rode a bike throughout Bessemer and just did my rounds. That's how I did my rounds. If they didn't have their money, then I did what I had to do to get my money.
And what was that?
Because I had to. Well, sometimes I had to, if I had a power struggle with them, I had a power struggle with them. And I would take everything they got. They either gonna give me what they got, or I'd take everything they got. So, at that point, they would have that choice to either do that. So that's how it became that way. No money or nothing like that. It was basically just making money. Everybody made their own money. Everybody respected each other. Every gang leader, we all knew each other, so we all respected each other. Was by, just like I said, enforcing getting the money. Getting the money is what the older guys wanted. By me going to go get the money, that's how I made it up in the gang. I made it far up. After that, a little while, by being on the streets a little while, the streets changed a couple years back. Well, I ended up doing a year sentence and got put in Lathrop Detention Center.
How old were you then?
I was 17.
And what was your charge?
It was assault on a peace officer.
So you hit a police officer?
It was a peace officer. Peace officer means a police officer without a gun.
Were you starting to get more violent at that point in your activity?
At that point, I started getting a little bit older. You could tell I was changing from younger to, being older. But what happened is I got out of Lathrop, and then maybe a couple months later I got shot. At this point, I had gotten shot in 1996. And it was 1996. It was just a party at first, but it ended up to be all kinds of gang members here at this party, about 200 people. So at this point, I'm at the door. I put myself at the door because it's my house. So I put myself at the door, which is I put myself in line of fire, basically. But at this point, I'm not thinking that. I'm just trying to protect my home. But anyways, at that point, I'm trying to protect. Well, rival gang members come in and we don't even know. And then they jump up. They jump up in the living room and start kind of like throwing up gang signs to me, actually. So I just took off on them. You know, when I mean taking off on them means is I just let off on them. You know, I just started fighting with them. So the 7 of them that I was fighting in the living room, they started a big old brawl. Living room. So that's what happened at that point. And then at that point they started jumping me. I was in the living room. They were kicking me, all this kind of stuff. I was getting handed to me. You know, I was getting it handed to me. But anyways, they stopped because somebody started running through the living room. One of my friends come running through the living room. He comes running to the living room, takes everybody outside. Well, he starts fighting with everybody outside. That gives me time to get up and go outside and start and then join him, because it's only me and him at this point. So at this point, they go around and shoot him. Boom, they shoot him under the armpit. Kill him instantly. They go around, shoot me in my back. I don't know how they shot me in my back. I can't tell you because they shot me in my back. Detectives were trying to question me and tell me that they knew that I know who shot me, but I didn't. But anyways, and you know, a lot of these guys ain't telling you a whole lot when you're in the gangs. They do a lot of lying to you. They use you to do their dirty work, so they don't get caught. So my word is to not become one of these youngsters that listen to these guys, because you will die at a young age. It's either that or you're going to go to prison for the rest of your life, or you're going to end up dead.